Good morning. Our hand today is going to be Jack 10 of diamonds. Folds around to the cutoff. Folds back to me in the big blind, and it is my decision. So for this player, I have 21 hands. Right now, he's playing 43-5. So it looks like he's playing loose, limping a lot. In the cutoff, he raises. When we look at his stats, you can see that this is going to be the first time that he's played from the cutoff. He's had button, he's had small blind. He's had an opportunity to raise in early position, mid position cutoff, and he hasn't. Like overall, he's had 9 opportunities and he hasn't. I'd discount the early position. However, he's limped 2 out of 5 times and didn't raise at all. Same thing mid position. It was 2 out of 3 times that he limped, and then he played another 2 times. Well, let's see. Now he called. He had a limp and called to raise 2 times. So this player seems, even though he looks loose, he seems tight. So it's kind of difficult to put him on a range. This is 5%. This might be a suitable strong range, something that he's comfortable raising with in the cutoff. Could be a little bit wider. But then we're going to leave a bunch of these broadways here for limping, smaller pocket pairs for limping, and all that stuff. So I think he's going to be raising pretty tight. Now it's on to me. So my 3-bet range here looks something like this. The call range is something like this, and this is against a tight cutoff. And I think this qualifies as a tight cutoff. Yes, he plays 40% of hands, but he's not raising with them. So if he's raising, then I think we're versus a pretty tight opponent. So instead of going versus a typical cutoff where we're going to look to 3-bet this hand, I think this is going to be a good situation where we could just call. We're at the kind of at an upper end of our range, so I think my call is okay here. Flop comes king 10 8, which connects with us. 2 spades out there. We have backdoor straight draws. So a 9 gives us an open ender. A queen gives us a double gut shot. We've got a backdoor flush draw happening here. I think this does connect with villains 4 range. I think checking here probably makes a little bit more sense. We could probably freeze him if we bet. I think if we bet, he's going to be hesitant to raise his kings. Probably just call. Probably hesitant to raise his queens or his jacks if he has them. But I think a check is fine. See what he does. He bets half pot, and I think our hand is too strong. So what hands is he going to be betting? Well, we haven't seen him c-bet before, so I'm going to say he's probably c-betting top pair plus. I think queens and jacks probably just checks. He's afraid of that king. I think that typically is what happens when we have a passive player, a loose passive. They see the overcard and they freeze. Maybe the flush draw, maybe the gut shot. I don't think necessarily combo draws at all. So I think he's playing something like that. You can see we're going to be way behind here, but we do have possibility of picking up some draws. And possibility that I think if a spade comes, we could probably represent the spade and get him to fold some of his king hands, and maybe overpair, maybe if he has aces. So I think here, I'd say what hands are we looking to raise with? I think our nut flush draw we can raise. Not all the flushes, but I think our aces. I think we can raise with our nut flush. I think we could raise with the set. I think we could raise with 2 pair. And we've got king 10 10 8. I think we raise with 2 pair plus and our nut flush draw. And reason being that I think when we raise those, we're going to get aces to call. Aces is probably going to get all in here. I think ace king probably gets all in too, so we can make a lot of money. The reason I don't like raising with the jack 10 here is because I don't think we're folding out many hands that we beat. I think they're just going to come along, and as I said, if he has aces or if he has like ace king, he's going to be calling. We're not getting those hands to fold. If he happens to have jacks or queens, Yeah, he's going to fold those hands, or if he has ace queen, he's going to fold that hand. And those are like the only hands. I think for us, we want to see, do we connect? If we don't connect on the turn, then we probably can just fold. So I kind of think a call here is okay. Also note that we're dealing with a small stack here at 20 big blinds. So right now pot's 13.6. He has about 21 big blinds left. Turns a jack. All right, so got that. Let's get my hands out of here. Set in 2 pair, I would have raised. These nut flush draws, I would have raised. I think open-ender straights are probably just going to call here, along with gut shots. I'm not playing with all of our 2-card backdoor flush draws. I think top pair, middle pair, maybe the 9s and 8s is probably... I think we could probably fold 9s, 8s, 9s, and any of our 8s as well. But they could be part of some of our other hands. So we're going to look at something like that, is what we're calling with. Jack of clubs hits. That actually helps us. So the only hand that we're really now just kind of, we're afraid of kings. We're afraid of kings. We're afraid of ace queen. I checked. If he has ace queen, he has ace queen. I mean, he raised that pre-flop, and then he had to fire the gut shot, fire half pot with the gut shot. So we checked. We checked here. What did villain do? Hold on. All right, some things just kind of went crazy. So we did check, and villain bet. He bet the pot. That doesn't look good. That makes it seem like he has ace queen. It really does. We have 2 pair. I hate folding this hand. But he bet half pot. He bet pot now. When we look at how tight he is, would he have bet pot with a set? With kings or tens? I don't. Maybe. Not sure about top pair or over pair. Definitely not flush draw, I don't think, or the open enders. He could be just straight up with these 2 hands. And sorry, not sure what's happening. Computer's being slow. But I think top pair, over pair, definitely. If he plays that, that's most of their hands. We beat top pair, but would top pair really bet that much? I mean, that's tough. I could see top pair betting half pot. I could see it over pair betting half pot. I think sets and straights are betting this much. I think if we make a call here, we're going to be committed. I think the only time we're going to fold is if a queen comes, because we have to give him credit for the ace at that point. All right, so we didn't call, we just shoved them all in, which I think is also okay. And villain calls here, which is kind of what we expect. I'm expecting to see ace queen. 4 spades gets there. He shows tens, shows trip tens, so he's showing a set or straight. Set was in his range, we could see it. So definitely a possibility. It's unfortunate we had a 10, so he had, basically the one combo of 10s out there. But I think once he bet the pot, we do have a reason for getting out of the way. And I think probably would have been best just to go ahead and fold. So I like not raising pre-flop. I think that was a really good decision, because this villain's going to be very tight. And any hands that we 3-bet, or these hands, a hand like this that we 3-bet, is going to get called by better. I don't think we're folding out many hands at all, because his range is so tight. So we don't have that fold equity. So I like just calling here. The flop, I don't think we have a hand that could do a check raise. I think we talked about hands that would check raise and try to capitalize on the fact that villain probably has like an overpair ace king type hands that would pay off. So we try to build up the pot with those check raises. But a hand like Jack 10, it's not, we're not really folding out many hands, especially with a small stack. I don't think he's going to fold out a huge number of hands. So we call, we turn 2-pair, which seems great, and then all of a sudden he bets big. That I think is concerning. That's telling us that he probably has a set plus, trying to prevent any spade from getting there. So we probably should have folded on the turn. And folding 2 pairs is going to be tough, but I think at this level, this is a 5NL game. He probably told us that his hand beats our 2-pair and we could get rid of it. All right, hopefully you enjoy this hand. Sorry about the technical difficulties that we had. Hopefully it doesn't happen tomorrow. So if you like this hand, look tomorrow for another.